Chrono Odyssey is an upcoming MMORPG that is also a Souls-like, and in this video I'm going to be going over everything we know about it so far. 4 days ago there was a closed beta announcement trailer for Chrono Odyssey, and this closed beta will be taking place in June 2025. You can sign up to have a chance to join the playtest on Steam, and the release of the game is currently scheduled for Q4 of 2025, so later on this year. Yesterday, the developers on their official YouTube channel uploaded their first developer interview where they went over what would be available in the beta. So in June, when the test goes live, players will have access to the following: Chrono Gates, Trials, Expedition Dungeons, and Region Bosses. Chrono Gates and Trials are labeled as single-player content, while Expedition Dungeons and Region Bosses are labeled as party-based content. Chrono Gates will be one-on-one battles with powerful Void Apostles where players must read enemy patterns and respond strategically. Each encounter will hone your skills and strengthen your character. Trials will have your player travel across time and space, facing puzzles, traps, and randomized mechanics, creating new experiences with every run. Expedition Dungeons are designed for 3-player parties, where each player takes on a unique role, making teamwork essential. Region Bosses present challenges on a much larger scale. Guardians, the most powerful protectors of Cetera, require players to work together. Multiple parties must coordinate and combine their strengths to prevail, and if you beat this Guardian boss, you will earn unique equipment linked to the game's lore, while also strengthening your character. One thing to note is that both PvP and PvE content is confirmed to be in the game, so hopefully some PvP will be available to try out in the beta too. The devs put a lot of emphasis on you being able to play the game however you want. They said that you would be able to craft, fight, fish, and gather resources such as mining stone or chopping wood. One interesting mechanic is that they have said that doing any and all kinds of these things will be a viable route for your character to progress and become stronger. So if you prefer fishing and maybe don't love the combat, you should be able to, let's say, level up from that in one way or another. This definitely sounds pretty cool and also quite unique. The combat system in this game is focused around having multiple weapons that you switch between depending on the situation, rather than being stuck with one weapon and trying to stack as many buffs onto that as possible. This is to give the player more freedom, rather than restricting them from playing the game how they want. We do also know that there are heavy attacks which you have to dodge or parry, as well as iframes and posture breaking, so I suppose that's where these Souls-like elements come into play. The classes we know about so far that the players will be able to choose from include the Swordsman, who has access to a sword and shield, a great sword and dual blades, the Paladin, who uses a tower shield and mace, a lance and a spear, the Sorcerer with their staff, spellbook and orb, a Berserker with dual axes and a great axe and something like Chaos Blades from God of War, an Assassin with dual daggers, a musket and a katana, and a Ranger with a bow, rapier and crossbow. I believe there is potential for romanceable characters too, as shown in a trailer at one point. I'll probably put it up on screen, though there's a chance that was just some random cutscene that you're going to progress through in the story. We were also recently told about a healer class, and the devs went on to say that they wanted the support class to be able to perform well while playing solo, and not just when playing with others, so potentially some type of cleric too, although that is a little bit of speculation on my part. Now I know what you're thinking, this is too good to be true, this can't be real, it's going to be The Day Before or Concord 2 all over again, but it is a game that has been in development for a long time, so even though I also don't want to get my own hopes up too much, I am kind of believing that this could be the game that is going to fill a void for a ton of players. But enough of what I think, back to more information on game mechanics. The most unique one being the ability to change time. Now I think this is going to function similarly to the Lords of the Fallen for anyone who's played that, but basically I think you're going to have access to some type of item or area which will allow you to either go back or forwards in time, which will let you explore the same area you were just in a different way, allowing you to find more loot and presumably fight different enemies, and most likely just aiding in traversing the map as well. There is a chance there's also going to be an element of gore in the combat too. In one of the trailers, we see the protagonist's arm get cut off by one of the enemies, so it's possible we might be able to do that to enemies as well, which would add some weight to the combat. We will be able to mantle and climb things. There will be abilities we can use, which will do things like freezing enemies or doing a big damaging poke attack. There will be different regions. At one point in one of the trailers, we're shown a grassy field, and then another scene we're shown a snowy area. So I don't know if different regions will be available in the beta, since we already know that's what's in the beta will be limited, which is pretty standard, but hopefully on launch we'll have different biomes we can travel to in order to change up the scenery. We are shown pretty large-scale battles. Some fights have maybe 3 to 5 people fighting alongside each other, and others, one in particular actually has around 18 players all fighting the same boss, which looks extremely chaotic, and I cannot wait to try that out. The game, once fully released, is planned to be buy-to-play, with a microtransaction shop for skins and dyes, but no pay-to-win stuff. Major expansions are planned to be sold separately, especially DLCs for the game. Now, there is a lot to talk about when it comes to the vibe or aesthetic of Chrono Odyssey, but I feel like that's for a different video, so I'm not going to get into that all too much for now. So that is all we know so far, at least gameplay-wise, and I am really looking forward to this game. I'm extremely hyped for it. My hopes are probably a little bit high already, but I'm trying to stop them from getting too high. But there are lots of games that have tried doing what this game is currently promising it will do, if that makes sense, and I just really hope that it proves itself right. But hey, I guess we'll have to wait until June for the closed beta test to find out. Remember to sign up for it on Steam. Now, I do just want to throw in a couple of suggestions here, because the closed beta test, as the developers themselves have stated, is just so that, you know, they can get feedback and make sure everything is working properly, but also so that they can, like, kind of develop the game alongside the players. So I'm just gonna throw in some of my own thoughts and suggestions here. I already talked about having different mounts being kind of a cool thing that you might be able to do. I know PvP is going to be in the game, that is confirmed, as I have previously stated, but I really would like to be able to invade players. Maybe there's, you know, they could add in some type of arena like the Colosseums from Dark Souls, where you can just go 1v1 someone or something like that. I think that would be really, really cool. Because right now I don't know how the PvP is going to work. I don't know if it's going to be like PvEVP, or if it's going to be like try and kill this enemy faster than the other enemy team kills the same enemy, or something kind of like an indirect PvP type of thing. I don't know how it's going to work, but I just want to be able to invade people. I used to absolutely love that doing in Dark Souls. I have an ungodly amount of hours in those games just because I was able to invade people. And also, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to be into the game, but just in case it's not already, I just want to throw in this suggestion, which is to make sure that matchmaking is enabled, so that, you know, if I want to go do like a really tough boss, I don't have to find 5 friends or teammates or whatever to do it with. I can just like select the mission, go into it, and then the game will matchmake me with people. Destiny still currently has this problem. If you try and do a raid in Destiny 2, like, you need to have friends to join your party first, or you need to like join a Discord, LFG, in order to have enough people to start the raid, because the game still doesn't actually matchmake you with others. And since this is like going to be a pretty modern MMORPG, I think it would be a very good idea to have that in the game. But there you go. There are my only thoughts. I haven't even played the game yet, so I don't want to get too much into all of that kind of stuff. I'm assuming it's going to have those things. Anyway, maybe not the invasions. The invasions is just something that I would personally like to play around with. But there you go. Let me know any thoughts you have on anything that I've said in this video. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you're hyped. Let me know if you're trying not to get your hopes up too high. Let me know if you think it's going to be another fake game. But there you go. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.